He's very flighty.
I really wasn't really paying attention to Kody's schedule. I don't know, I was okay if he wasn't there, and I was okay if he was there. It was great either way. I don't know. It seemed like it was a thing a lot for a couple of my sister wives.
When it gets close for Kody to leave, I get a little bit sad. The fact that he gets to go run is huge to me because I don't usually let him out of my sight.
Funny that you have that secret because I have the same one.
Do tell.
It was only there was a month or two in Vegas where Christine was saying he was never spending time at her house. And I remember kind of going, this is really weird. I feel like he's just really not been here. And so I started tracking it. And yeah, I found the same thing, that he wasn't with me as much.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, February 3rd, 2025. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Listen, I'll be getting to the recap of the mid-season finale on Sister Wives, but I have some interesting feedback that I got from one of my followers in a video comment on Saturday, and then she sent me a screenshot. This now is going all over the group, so thank you so much, Amy, for sending this to me. But a comment was left on a Facebook group about the Australian version of Sister Wives. Now, by the way, I don't have the Australian version of Sister Wives, and I don't have a clip of this, but I believe fully that this is what happened. And I will say they do get a different edit, and so does the UK. They have more time, so they don't have as many commercials. And with that, they have more information leaked out. And oftentimes in the US, they leak that via bonus scenes, but we haven't had any bonus scenes in weeks. It's since November, by the way. They haven't done any bonus episodes or More to Love for Sister Wives. So we're not seeing the bonus. And this bonus is shocking. And I had a feeling this is what she was alluding to. I mean, Janelle, that is. But it's messy because last week on the show, Janelle and Meri sat down and talked over a Zoom about what was going on with Coyote Pass. And Janelle had made a comment about how Kody had liquidated or was spending money out hand over fist out of the family account. This week on Sister Wives, she said that they had spent about 2 decades sharing resources, pooling resources to benefit the whole family. And she said that she didn't catch on until it was too late that Kody and Robyn had changed their ideas, or Kody had changed his plans about how the money was going to be spent. Of course, Robyn absolutely lied in this week's episode about it being fair and lied that she contributed as much, because Robyn's never going to admit that she was the contributing factor for the doom of the family. The family falls apart 100% because of Kody, but Robyn 100% contributed to that as well, because she said she wanted a plural family and did everything that she could to not have that and to compromise his time and get him to herself. Kody will fall on his sword and say it was all about love, but I'm sorry, but love doesn't make you steal money or close business accounts and lock people out of funding. That's what happened here. And this is not being told to us by the producers in the United States. I kind of feel like part of this is due to the fact that they're protecting him. I also think they're protecting him from the possibility of fraud charges, money laundering, an FBI investigation, because this is a serious allegation that's made here. This is what she said. This is what Amy sent to me. The comment is by someone named Flickwalker. I don't know who they are, but they wrote, do different countries get different editing? I'm asking because here in Australia, when Janelle was talking to Meri on their video call, Janelle said to Meri that she had been asking Kody to remove his name from her bank account. Then she said that without telling her, he had removed his name from her account, but that he also closed the family business account. Meri's expression was stunned. Janelle continues on and said she only found out when she went to access the business account to get some records and it was gone. Where did the money go from the account that he closed? Why is nobody mentioning him closing the business account? Is the editing different in each country? So let's talk about this. The episode that we saw, Janelle said that she felt Kody was up to something. We get these innuendos in our version. She tells Meri that she's concerned that there's not going to be equitable division. She's worried about how Coyote Pass will be divided. We don't at any point hear that Kody was on a bank account with her. We also don't hear that a business account was closed. On our version, all we hear is that the money was going out the business account, like on whatever Kody wanted. And then Kody makes a comment and says, I had 18 kids and Janelle doesn't need to know what I was doing with this money because it was none of her business. But in the Australian version, Kody and Janelle have never said that they had a joint account together, ever. She has always said that she had her own checkbook. And I have always said that I didn't believe this. I've always said that Kody controls the money. That proves to me that Kody was controlling the money, because if they're not married legally, she doesn't need to have a joint account with him. And why would he have a joint account with her if there's a family account? Secondly, there was a family account, a business account, which the business account is the show. And Kody and the wives were all supposed to be a part of this account. And this person is saying that Kody removed himself from Janelle's account, but then in retaliation of not getting access to money that Janelle had anymore, he then closed the business account and that money is gone. So there was money in this account that was supposed to be for everyone else, and he removed that money, closed the account, and then Janelle has no access to that account. Meri has no access to that account. Only Kody and Robyn have access to the money that's left in that account. And now this explains to me where they came up with the money for the down payment for their home that they just purchased. Because when they were paying off Coyote Pass, Kody said that he and Robyn didn't have the money to buy out Janelle and Meri. And I said, well, where did this $400,000 come from? Where did it come from? If he didn't have money in 2023, at the middle June of 2023, where does he come up with $420,000 to put down on a house in a year? Well, it sounds like Kody closed the account and took all of the money. And that money was not his, by the way. That money was in a jointly held business account that all of them had their names on. The business account is linked to Kody Brown Family Entertainment, LLC. The business account is for the purpose of payment for the sister wives. So this account is where all the money for the show is going. And this account is where they have their savings and the pool of money from the show that is supposed to be distributed to all the different people on the show. And at that point in time, Janelle and Meri were still supposed to be getting paid through this account. I told you, and I've told you for a couple years, that Kody and Robyn in May of 2022 formed a company called Dab Sark Entertainment, LLC. Then they administratively withdrew and ended the Kody Brown Family Entertainment, LLC. In the span of a year, they formed this dummy LLC called RBHK LLC. RBHK LLC's agent is Whitestone Trust. Whitestone Trust is the trust that is formed by Robyn and Kody in September of 2023. This trust is supposed to be only for Robyn and Kody. And at that point, they go on to put money there, I'm assuming by the embezzlement of the money from the show, and it's through this trust that they attempt to shield that from Janelle and Meri. So they put it into this trust and they say, well, this is our money. You have no access to the money. And then in the fall of 2024, they suddenly have $420,000 to put down on a house. Documents recorded in Coconino County show that Kody and Robyn closed on a home on October 24th, 2024, signing under Whitestone Trust, and a warranty deed was also for the home put in Whitestone Trust's name with Kody and Robyn as the beneficiaries. The home mortgage is also listed through Whitestone Trust. What does this mean? This means she's accusing him of embezzlement of business assets. And then Kody embezzles the money and money launders it to RBHK LLC, makes Whitestone Trust the manager of RBHK. So RBHK is basically a shell company where he is putting the money that he embezzled from their business account. Then with the Whitestone Trust, because it's set up the way it is, no one else can touch that money. So the money from the show is then used to buy a home for them in October of 2024. Kody and Robyn never would have been able to purchase the home that they currently live in had they not embezzled the money and stolen the funds from the business account. Sister Wives, the show, through Kody Brown Family Entertainment LLC, had joint membership of Kody, Robyn, Janelle, Meri, and Christine. It wasn't closed until last year in 2024. Technically speaking, it would have meant that the assets from that show and the subsequent business account associated with it would have been jointly shared by all members of the company. That means Kody did not have a right to all of the money in that account. Under federal law, embezzlement is described this way. Embezzlement is the fraudulent appropriation of property by a person to whom such property has been entrusted or into whose hands it has lawfully come. It differs from larceny in that the original taking was lawful or with the consent of the owner, while in larceny, the felonious intent must have existed at the time of the taking. To prove embezzlement, there was a trust of fiduciary relationship between the defendant and the private organization. The property came into the possession or care of the defendant by virtue of his or her employment, which it did. The defendant's dealings with the property constituted a fraudulent conversion or appropriation of it, his or her own use. So he got the money legally through this business, but then he converted it fraudulently and used the money for his or her own use. And then they acted with the intent to deprive the owner of the use of this property. So in this case, he forms the trust as a way to try to deprive Janelle and Meri from this money. The requirement that the defendant act with the intent to deprive the owner of his or her property makes embezzlement a specific intent crime. Under the law, embezzlement can carry a 10-year prison sentence if you were to charge this federally. And then oftentimes prosecutors will also charge money laundering along with it, because once they get the money, they need to hide the money. And that's what money laundering is. So money laundering is making illegally obtained money or property appear to come from a legal source. So for example, it could be placing money in a financial institution to make it harder to trace back to its criminal origins. So in this case, if he takes the money and embezzles it from the Sister Wives closet or from the Sister Wives business account, he places it into another bank account with Whitestone Trust through the RBHK. He forms a dummy company. There's almost always shell companies involved and other trusts involved when there is embezzlement. Prosecutors that often suspect that people who embezzle will try to launder the proceeds to hide it. So he's trying to hide it from the rest of this. Money laundering can carry a sentence of up to 20 years in prison. This is why I have said over and over and over again that these crimes that he is committing are not minor. These are serious offenses, white collar offenses, where he's stealing from his business partner. When Janelle said last week, really what this is the dissolution of a business. That's what she's talking about. And that's what producers are not showing us. And instead of hiring lawyers, they can do this and handle this civilly. Like they certainly can sue him for fraud, for embezzlement, for money laundering. They have to be able to prove the paper trail. But I think we have a good understanding of the paper trail. And then they can also go to the federal government and show them what he's done. They can actually show them, here's the account. This was all of us were on. Here's the proceeds. Here he stole this. Here's the business that he formed. Here, if they have an access, if she was this person that controlled the records, she should have a bank statement that would show the amount of money that was in that account. And then she'd be able to show a copy of their business, which says we're all owners of this, and he's taken this money. When you start talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're looking at a lot of years that you could be charged with and go to prison for. He's not stealing like $10 or $15. He's liquidating bank account that isn't rightfully his to have. And then now he's trying to conceal that money through the trust. And now it's concealed in a home that, again, is owned through the trust. And he's setting everything up through the trust to try to shield his own liability to this. But what he's doing is all of this is happening so publicly. It's stupid. It reminds me of Todd Chrisley when he got arrested. Everything was being done so publicly. He was making the most ridiculous statements publicly. And that's how the feds actually ended up getting involved. His case unraveled because his former business partner turned on him and went to the feds. This would be no different. If one of these women would just turn on him and go to the feds, he could equally be charged. They could also start looking into the IRS and his taxes. It's so blatantly obvious he is committing crimes, and it is so blatantly obvious that the production company is covering for them. Because if we would have heard that, if he would have said that on the United States version, there would have been an article immediately that he's accused of embezzlement and money laundering, because that's what the accusation is. And on the show, producers in the United States are dancing around that because, I mean, technically, if they're aware of a crime that's occurring, they could be held liable too. This is the money that TLC is paying them. And if TLC is made aware that that money is being stolen, they have a duty to ensure that those women are being paid and to not pay Kody because he's a thief. They're complicit and they're a part of the scheme, and Kody's weaponizing them against the wives that have left. So that's what I have for this video. I wish they would go to the FBI. I wish they would report him instead of trying to handle this civilly. And now I understand why they're getting lawyers involved, because it's not just about Coyote Pass. It's also about joint bank accounts for a business, which is entirely different. And they don't have to be married or being divorced in order for them to have a shared right to that money. If they're all on a business document and they're all listed as members, they all have an equal joint say and a joint ownership of the money that's included in these accounts. Kody is a thief. I wish they would go to the feds. Call the FBI, Janelle and Meri, please. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.